Hey, welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Ben.
I'm Tim.
And we are Critters in Taiwan.
Yeah.
How are you now, Tim? How's the cold weather up there in Taichung?
Yeah, we're feeling the what is it, Typhoon Rai or something like that's coming around. So we've got some pretty heavy rainfall. Yeah. So but I love the rain, so I'm loving it.
Yeah.
When I got home, I was fucking drenched, sweatshirt, pants, all that shit. And you're like, you need an umbrella? I'm like, nah, it's water. It's cool.
Yeah, it's just exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm on my scooter. I scoot everywhere, but it's been raining a bit the past couple of days down here. Not too terrible. Got a little chilly when I hovered under 20 degrees Celsius, which is chilly for Kaohsiung, I guess.
For Kaohsiung,
kind of funny. Yeah. I'm still working on this. This will be coming onto year 4 of no pants, shorts only, no long pants.
I keep trying it, man. I mean, we had a couple of cold days.
No,
and it's like, happening. Hey, today's the day for pants. As soon as I get to work, I'm just sweating.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. The only time I suffer is when I'm on the scooter and I'm doing, I'm cruising with traffic and that biting wind. You're like, oh, I wish I had some pants now. But even then, I'm just like, it's just, it's not terrible.
It's a gloves thing too. Your hands get pretty chilly. Sure. And also, if it's raining outside, it doesn't really matter what you're wearing. It's just kind of like...
The difference on Taiwan is, for those that don't know, Taiwan is right on the Tropic of Cancer. It's Cancer, right?
Yeah, yes. Capricorn is
right on the Tropic of Cancer, and it cuts right through the middle of the island, basically. And it is.
You're actually in the tropics. I'm in the subtropics.
Right.
We're Taichung, you're in Kaohsiung. Yeah.
Yes. So the island itself is classified as a subtropical island because it's mostly above the tropic.
Yeah, it's like 68%.
So, yeah, something like that. So, but the difference is when you hit that tropic line, when you get up north, the difference is noticeable. It's definitely cooler up there than it is down here.
It sure is. It's not even that far. It's a tiny country, dude.
No, exactly. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Critical Role.
Yeah, sure. Hey, how about it?
Enough of this weather stuff.
That's critical related, right?
Yeah. We're talking about I suppose we're talking about episode number 8.
Not at all.
A campaign 3, episode number 8, a woodworker's quandary.
Oh, that's right. I never know the name of the episode before we start.
I get them Tuesday morning before right when they post it on you. They don't name them until they post it on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's when they name it.
It's I just never check until then. I just keep using Twitch until now.
The only reason I even use YouTube for Critical Role anymore is because of that name. Oh, and other things, which I have to talk about later on.
The interface is way better going back. I'm just used to the fucking YouTube thing, man.
I know.
Double click, it's back 10 seconds, and there's no waiting. There's no waiting a moment.
Twitch is slightly annoying for the VOD. It is not as it's really good for live. It's not so good for VOD. I agree. Yeah. It's great. It's just not as good as YouTube.
And on my phone, it's like, when I'm watching it on my phone, like, and you touch it that one time, half the screen gets covered with all the shit, and then it's like have to go back 10 seconds, 10 seconds. It takes a second, and then I got to touch it again in the right spot to make sure that the fucking thing goes down so I can watch it. Twitch, if you're listening, and I know you are because you tune in every week, fix that shit, man. Come on.
Yeah. Get a mode that's like either a device mode or just a better VOD mode. I don't know.
Just figure it out. Come on.
Listen, man, I'm a science teacher. I have nothing to do with IT. I know nothing. So
same.
Hey, we're talking Critical Role. Spoiler alert, we will be spoiling everything. So if you're not caught up to date on the latest of all things Critical Role and all things Critical Role universe, fuck off, or don't fuck off. Stick around and learn some stuff, but go back and watch some episodes.
Yeah, we don't aggressively spoil. We'll try to hold back a little bit, but like anything in the past, like it's coming out.
Speak for yourself. I'm going to aggressively spoil everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm feeling a little feisty tonight. As I was saying to you earlier, I got into a little bit of a tussle with my students this evening. I full disclosure, I play D&D. I DM for a group of a pair of junior high school students, and things got a little.
Oh, it's just the two of them.
Just 2 kids, okay. 2 boys. They're either 13 or 14 years old. They're right on that cusp of 13 or 14, and hey, they may tune into this, so maybe I shouldn't say too much. I don't know. They
Up to
don't
you,
know that I
man.
do this now, but maybe at some point they will. I don't know. Probably not. I've asked them about Twitch. They don't know what it is.
Even if they
Oh, no,
did,
that's not
I
true. They
mean,
do know
I
what
know the
Twitch is.
story. I don't know if anybody, so I know the story, but it's up to you. I mean,
horny boys be horny boys. Put it that way.
Yep. Why even roll the dice?
Yeah. All right. Hey, speaking of dice, I got mine.
Shall we get started?
Let's do it. Rollies.
I got my same old rolly, until I get another set of dice. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm sticking with these green ones.
Ooh.
I think it's you.
Dude, do I keep winning with my low rolls? I got myself a 7.
I got a 4.
A 4, dude.
Yeah.
We really got to start playing together because I keep winning even with my shitty rolls.
Lacey, make my dice roll better.
I'm gonna do the same old thing. I'm gonna start right there from the top. Tiny ass little point. At some point in the episode, after we got to know Dorian's brother Cyrus a little bit more, and we learned quite a bit more about him. Tiny little thing here, just a tiny little thing that I really liked that Matt did, because he was playing the character. Obviously, he's sat there and it hadn't come up for a little bit, but at some point somebody maybe jested that he had a pet rock or something like that.
Oh, that was
and
a fun moment. I loved it.
Got it. And just fucking let it sit there for a bit. And then he came back later and he was like, somebody mentioned something, maybe the pet rock or something. And he was like, I miss Rocky, man. He gave it a name and put it back out there.
He zoned out. He's like, oh, sorry. I was just thinking about Rocky there.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's such a nice little touch. It's a very small point, but I just loved it so much. Enough to write it down, that's.
It was definitely, if I can throw my 2 cents in on that one, it was definitely Matt playing the himbo, like to the best of his ability, right? It's like this. I'd love to see the stats on Cyrus because I'm guessing he's got an intelligence around Grog level.
You think so?
I do.
Huh. I wouldn't think that.
Oh, I think he's a dumb dummy. Maybe not a 6 because Grog had the.
He was less than a bear, right? He was less than Trinket, right?
No,
Trinket was 4.
Trinket's like a 4, 3 or a 4. Okay. Animal companions are around a 3 or a 4, something like that.
Right.
So Grog is like a 6, which is like village idiot.
Yeah, and like 7 is like you can read. 6 is like
6 is you can't read.
Good
anymore.
luck.
Can't read or write. Exactly. So I think it was just him playing a really good himbo. The whole idea of him just being just dumb, really, really socially unaware.
I didn't get that dumb vibe so much. I was more I guess paying attention to like how him and Dorian were
now that I'm
interacting with each other.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the intelligence, maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe it was a misread on my part. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's just really low wisdom, because he did really paint himself into a corner by with the losing all the funds and then getting the 20,000 gold bounty put on his head. And as Imogen yelled and said, you what are you doing sitting in the open like that? And he's like, well, do you think they're after me? Do you think they're after me? Maybe that's low wisdom. Maybe
that's a little bit more wisdom, I think. Yeah, that's experience,
Yeah.
That's not thinking things through. That's just for like, oh shit, this actually never happened before. Good point.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's a misread on my part.
Oh,
maybe not. Maybe
we might
not.
see those stats sometime.
Maybe. Never know. First son.
There's a lot of questions like that with this episode coming up. And I've also got a fair number of points about that kind of realm of stuff. If they come up. But yeah, it was just a quick little point. Just going from top to bottom. That was my first one. I just really liked how Matt did that.
Yeah, cool. I'll do mine then?
Yeah.
It's again another small little point about the same about Cyrus. So I'm going to go on. I'll go on to the Cyrus thing. Before that point, before that happens, when Orem is chasing Cyrus through the alley
with Chetney.
with Chetney, when the two of them are not chasing, they're just going after. When Orem looks up and is like, "Come on, man, seriously." That, and even Matt, the whole cast cracked up. I was laughing.
Matt's reaction to that was my favorite, because he's like, "Yeah, you're right. We could keep role playing this and keep rolling this shit, or you can just be like, hey, Liam, come on, man."
Just the It's such a ludicrous thing to say in D&D, because the whole premise behind D&D is sort of like intrigue and mystery and spells and magic and stealthing and perception and playing ability scores off each other. And Liam just cuts through all of that with Orem and is like, come on, man, seriously, come on, just come on. I don't want to. It was such a danger cutting through all the bullshit. No, none.
There was no danger. None. There was no spell casting. There was no dimension door, no teleportation, nothing like that. It was just like, we're still following him. How much are we going to do this? Just like they do all the time, like in other things, like we can keep role playing this shopping trip, or you can just tell me what you need and just spend the gold. I think that's what Liam was doing. He's like, all right.
I loved it. Just cut through the bullshit and let's just get on with this. Get on with it. Let's go. It was a really fun.
It streamlines the episode. It's great.
Streamlined a bunch of things. Yeah,
I was a big fan of that. I think I've seen it like 2.5 times at this point. And it's like, oh, that's right. Well done, Liam.
Matt. Even Matt's comment of, "Yep, D&D high fantasy at its finest," or whatever his comment was. Just
they got the fun done. And we're like, all right, we're not going to do it again. That's enough. Like it.
All right.
That means we're rolling again, man.
That means we're rolling. Let's do a bunch of rolls tonight. Let's do a bunch. I like that. I like doing a bunch of rolls.
Sure.
So I got it. I am definitely. We definitely have not been keeping track, but I'm definitely down on rollies. So
yeah,
I gotta do some catching up.
I blame the dice, man.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Ooh, I'm all right. I'm at a 14.
I got a 9. Oh man, I can't roll over a 10 with this dice. All right,
I like 9. That's not bad. There's no modifiers.
Not bad for me. No, I know.
14 is right next to that 20, and my 7 was right next to that 1. I mean, that's how it works, right? All right. Well, top to bottom. Here's a point. Not such a short point, really. The opportunities for guest stars from EXU, because as you know, I've been watching EXU again now that I'm like more in tune with those characters. Because we never went live when we were talking about EXU. That was just you and I talking, right?
That was just me and you as the episodes were happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I went back and I've seen it once, and I went back and I started watching it again because now I know 3 of those main characters. Right. And so I've been paying a lot more attention. Like instead of just like walking and listening kind of casually, I'm actually paying attention. There's a plenty number of characters that could easily be in this, in this world. I mean, like I said, it wasn't Marquette, but they could be an easily a person mentioned. I mean, fucking Keyleth's already in this this campaign. It's like, well, shit, yeah, like Dorian.
She's an elf.
Fern
she's gonna be in the next 10 campaigns. She's the lifespan of like 700 years. So
yeah, sure,
she could be the Arashari. She could be the what's the leader of the Arashari called? I don't remember now.
The Voice of the Tempest.
Voice of the Tempest. Thank you. She could be the Voice of the Tempest for another 20 campaigns if they decide to do so.
Yeah, I mean,
Keyleth's there forever.
I don't know how long elves live, but I'm imagining half elves live what, 300, 500 years?
No, I think they inherit the human side of that. No, I think they inherit the human side of that part of the deal. I think they're only like human lifespan.
I think they talked about it in campaign 1.
Yeah,
where they're like, Keyleth's gonna watch everybody die.
Well, that's why one of the episode that I just watched, the rewatch of campaign 1, Scanlan reads the charisma book, and then as soon as he finishes reading it after the Chroma Conclave encounters, he hands it over to Keyleth so Keyleth can read it because those
takes
books
50 years or something,
99
years. Oh, okay.
They can be read every 99 years. So it's like, so she'll collect. Who else got one of those books? Did Grog get one of those books? Or
I don't remember.
No, Grog. No, I think he did. And I think it was all Matt made.
Grog's not reading a book, so
yeah, but I think Matt made it a picture book.
That's ringing a bell.
Something like that.
And also, he was learning. He learned his name towards the end. By the end of the campaign, he learned his name.
But yeah.
That was one of those moments between him and Pike, one of those moments of role play where it's like, well, we can keep role playing this, or Matt's like, okay, so you got through this. This is what you got.
You got through the alphabet. There you go. Yeah.
Same thing as Liam's like, yo, come on.
I mean, it kind of depends. I guess back to your point. I guess it kind of depends if they're going to stay in Marquette or not, because mostly there would be no point for any of those EXU NPCs or etc.
or
to
PCs.
come over to Marquette, or PCs to come over. Well, none of them are PCs anymore.
Right.
They're all of Vox
EXU
Machina
PCs,
and
I meant.
Mighty Nine, or but you mean like Amy or
Yeah,
you mean Opal
like
or
Fiorarai or Opal
Yirarai.
yeah,
Yeah.
or her sister Fiorakai.
Right.
You know, a lot of names that we forgot. You know, but that is canon.
Yep.
And we know who we know Matthew.
Mm-hmm,
You know, and the thing is, those characters were at level 3. You know, and these people are level 4 at this point. So like one of my like something I didn't write down, but like now or later, if any one of these characters come in later, which I'm sure Matthew's made a note of, they might never come back in. It's fine, but if they come in back now, it's got to be like, you know, they're going to be level 4. It's basically the same thing.
Right.
So I don't expect that to happen. So if one of them does come in as a guest character or something like that, there's got to be some kind of a story why they're at level 7 now, as well as everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's going to be like something like Dariax, right? Dorian Dariax. Is that right?
Yes, that was Matt's dwarf sorcerer, Darius.
Yeah, because like if he comes in at some point and he gets to play himself again as a as a DM, there's got to be a reason why he's at level with the rest of the crew. You know,
I would love to see a little DM switch for a couple of episodes. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Be kind of cool because he played the character and then he plays, you know, and he rolled like shit in EXU for like 3 solid episodes, and I'm still.
It was terrible. There's a fun opportunity. You're right. There's 10. A fun opportunity there.
He's just like you in this campaign.
Yeah. Just a fun little thought just popped into my head. This group in campaign 3 wanders into let's say a dungeon or a I don't know, a fortress or something. And it's going to be a little bit of a crawl for an episode or two. Like they're going to do a dungeon crawl, do a little inside of a fortress or a castle or
they're due for one.
Who knows? You know, they probably episode 8. So they do that. They bring a guest DM in just for that. And on the way, they meet Dariax. And so Matt sits at the table and the other DM comes in, somebody like a Matt Colville or a Bria Iyengar or what's his name? Chris Perkins, somebody like a name like that. It's campaign 3, all bets are off. Right. So, you know, that would be a fun thing to see. Just off the top of my head, it'd be really fun to see. Just for an episode or two, and only in a controlled setting. So because Matt probably doesn't want to give up the world that much, and B, it's an unfair advantage for the DM to sit with the players in the world. But if it was an enclosed little a tiny little sandbox within the sandbox, and it would only influence so much, then Matt's smart enough to not use that to his advantage, and he wouldn't be able to, because it would be a dungeon, a little enclosed bubble where the damage could be mitigated potentially.
Yeah, I mean there were a couple of
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well, there were a couple of times in EXU where you know, Matthew's sitting at the table, one of the DMs of the world. I'll just keep it at that simplistic terminology. Where something came up and he was like, you got to do this because of this. And, you know, Abria was like, oh, thank you very much. You know,
right.
There's a DM sitting right there. Liam is too, you know, and he knows a lot of the rules. And
Taliesin also, or Talison's not in EXU, but yeah,
but he is at this table, you know, in campaign 3. So it's like, yeah, you know, I know that Matthew could do it. He could separate the two, you know, just for sure. Whatever the DM does, that's what the DM does. It's a fucking game. They remember that. It's a game. It's canon, though. Yeah. And I'm sure that they would have to discuss with Matthew.
It's a game. This isn't a competition. It's a game.
Right.
Not a,
I think the canon part is where they have to be careful. They're like, if they do something, they got to run it past Matt.
Right.
You know?
Which is why doing it in a tiny little sandbox, like a castle or a little dungeon or a thing where the consequences are not that dire, then that would be an opportunity for another DM to sit in. It's just throwing it out there as a weird little possibility.
Yeah,
be kind of fun. I speaking of like guest stars, I'm I mentioned him already. I'm dying to see Matt Colville come in and sit at the table with them and play. He's one of the go. I'd love, again, back to that. Absolutely.
I think I have a little point about that somewhere in here.
Matt Colville is one of my favorite. He's one of my go-tos when I go and watch like how to play D&D, how to dungeon master, how to be awesome at D&D. He's one of the first videos that I go and I look for. He talks really fast, not great for beginners, but for somebody who's played the game a lot and understands the basic rules, I love watching his videos because he just goes through things very, very well. And
he was the one that broke down that the Scanlan decision in episode 114, right?
He's one of them. Him? Absolutely, yeah. That's like, one of the guys.
You know, he was getting as much as I was. I'm just sitting there, like, oh god,
yes,
like wow. Yes. Like he knew exactly what was going on. When I saw it the first 6 times or whatever, I was like, why is this such a big deal? And then I go back and watch it again. I'm just sitting there like, oh God, this is insane.
Yep.
Like at what level? 9. Check it off. Matthew and nobody else seemed to know until like they realized later,
well they knew it's amazing, one of those amazing moments. But Matt said at the campaign 2, Matt Mercer said at the campaign 2 wrap up that he wanted Colville to come in and play Essex count opposite for the Dwendalian Empire. So Essex is the shadow hand for the Kryn dynasty. And I forget what the title is for the Dwendalian Empire, but that's who Matt Colville's character was going to be, was the master of the spy network, or the master of the sort of the whatever that branch of the Dwendalian Empire's government.
Do we know what that name is?
Yeah, he said the name at the wrap up. I don't remember.
At the wrap up, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the only time it got mentioned. Yep.
Okay.
The only time it got mentioned, Matt Colville was actually supposed to come in, but then COVID happened, and he was just like the Mighty Nine went one direction, and so it didn't really matter anymore anyway. But then so it was like, right, it's not that necessary to come. No, I think Matt said that there was something came up, change of plans happened, Colville couldn't make it, and then the pandemic happened, and then he really couldn't make it anymore. So yeah, I'm hoping he guests in campaign 3 because I'd really like to see him.
You know how much Matt wants it, and if Matt wants something,
he'll make it.
Kind of gets it. I mean, look at Marisha.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say look at the studio, but yeah, sure. Also,
the studio. That's what I meant. Sure. All right, is it Rollies again?
I think you won, so it's my turn.
Oh, was that? That was just my point. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Your response,
I'm gonna stick. What we're talking about NPCs coming in.
The one I brought up was guest stars and like from EXU, right, and a lot of my shit's gonna be EXU heavy because I'm rewatching it. Yeah, so like guest stars.
Sure.
From EXU.
So speaking of guest stars from other things, how about the night before Christmas? Let's talk about Chet.
Let's get into it
because listen,
let's dive in.
I told you this when I first watched this Friday night. When I got home from work, sat down with my pizza and my drink, and I sat there and I was like, here we go, it's go time. Let's watch Campaign 3, episode 8. Let's throw it on. So I skipped ahead through the intro part, 14, 15 minutes, whatever it is, and I pressed go, watch the introductions, go all through that. And as soon as they got to Spire by Fire, I started laughing, and I laughed for a solid hour. My ribs were hurting. I was crying. I was laughing so hard at Travis.
It was absolutely nonstop
slaying, as Joe Rogan likes to call it for stand-up comedians, murdering.
Yeah,
Travis was murdering as Chetney. And there was a point, I wrote it down. It came quite a bit later when I did the rewatch. I where was it? It was way, way, way down. I don't even remember where it was.
Way down.
But there was a point when, right, it was after the break actually. But there was this is
This episode
symptomatic.
really has 2 parts: pre-break and post-break.
Yes.
It seems like 2 episodes, as short as it was.
Totally. Orem Liam was basically dead silent. Liam barely did anything at the Spire by Fire when they were interrogating, interviewing, whatever that bad cop or bad Wilder, good Wilder nonsense was.
He did one thing. Because when they went around and introducing themselves, he was like, he kind of did the Orem thing.
The Orem thing, right? Dorian's my friend.
Yeah,
he okay with that?
I remember him doing that. Oh, like I'm watching the XU again, and he would he got in between to make sure everything's okay. You know, he's like that. He's like that slightly drunk friend who's not as drunk as everybody else, just making sure everything's cool. Right. You know,
he's the guy.
He did that.
Sort of
he was like, "My name's Orem, and I'm Dorian's friend. Is that a problem?" You know, not fronting, but I hope that's okay.
If this is a problem,
that was about it.
Be a problem.
Yeah,
sure.
That was about it.
But it was just at the break, just after the break, and I wrote this down because I thought I had to stop and I had to write it down what he had said. When Chetney's at the hovel and at Gurge's place and they're rolling it and it just keeps going. Travis's Chetney just keeps going deeper and deeper and more ridiculous and more over the top. Liam literally, he says, "How are we supposed to focus on anything, Travis?" Like he breaks character.
Travis. And just, he said, what?
He said Travis.
I missed this.
Yeah. Liam says, he's like, and I could see it. And I was trying to figure out what it was that I was like, I'm missing something. And as soon as he said that, I realized what it was. Liam was so enraptured by Chetney, by Travis's portrayal, that he couldn't focus. He was so distracted that he finally broke. It had to have been. That's my take on it anyway. How are we supposed to focus on anything, Travis? And the crowd, the rest of the cast kind of laughed at it and was like, whatever. But Liam, who never really breaks character that much, only on those rare occasions when it's comedically funny. He did it with Caleb a few times. He barely did it with Vex.
He usually announces it.
Yeah, he usually does. This was just flat out, I can't handle this anymore. And it really made me laugh. So
going back I think I can count on one hand the time that Liam's done that. And no, totally. I think you may have Vaxxed there. But,
I did.
This podcast, we keep Vaxxing.
I'm reading the fucking book right now, Kith and Kin, and I'm still Vaxxing. When I'm reading the book, I'm like, Vax, that's the girl, right? Okay, so I'm still doing it in my head, like doing the mental gymnastics to get through it.
I have it in my head. I like Vexalia and Vaxildan. Like one of them is definitely masculine, one of them is definitely feminine. So like Vex and Vax. I never make a mistake unless I'm right here.
I know when I think about it, I know it because Vax, the older the Vax is older. He's the older twin. And it's VA, and A comes before E. So I do it by alphabetical order. That's the only way. So when I think about it, I'm like, right, Vax is the boy because he is the older one. That's the only way I can remember it.
Again, I can count on like one hand, like how many times Liam is actually
never.
Like, sorry, like even including like, DM question. Still, like not that much. You know,
not that many.
I'm probably underestimating it. I should probably say a few more, hands just to be safe, but that's just who Liam is. You know, he'll stay in that goddamn character. You know, like he'll still use like in campaign 2, he'll just speak in that light German accent, Zemnian accent. And they're like, wait, but you had a Zemnian accent. He's like, sorry, I just don't get many. I can't do it. He's like, sorry, I just don't get many opportunities. I just like to use the accent. I'm sorry, but this is out of character. And he stays in the accent.
Totally does. Totally. It's great. I wrote down listen, when I watched it Friday, I don't take any notes, and that's because I couldn't take notes that night anyways. I was laughing way too fucking hard. I couldn't write anything down anyway, and I realized that as I was watching, I'm like, there's no way I can take any notes. But Sunday night on my rewatch, I take the notes for it, and I wrote down 10 of my favorite crotchety, grumpy old men quotes from Chetney.
Let's go through.
Right at the very beginning when he meets Laudna, when Laudna's like, hi, I'm Laudna, and she reaches over to, he's like, don't touch me, I'll cut you. It's like the he yelled when they're like they tell him that they're like, yeah, we all we do is we just seem to be able to find dead people. We can't really find any living people. Travis says that whole, or Travis says the whole, wow,
that was
Travis. Only dead people.
Yeah.
And he goes to get up. He's like, call me when you get your shit together.
Let me know when you find live people.
Yeah, tell me when you get your shit together. When Dorian's walking up and like,
this is probably my favorite one.
That was the first one. Take a step back, in fact, Blue Boy.
Blue
Boy. Oh, that killed me. He tells them who he's looking for. His name is Gurge. Great. And Sam's like, a great name. That's a great name.
That was Sam, not FCG.
That's Sam. And in character, Travis as Chetney says, I didn't fucking name him. just
so crotchety. So crotchety. Just like the one shot.
Yep. When they're talking about when he's like, I went to the theater, went to go check out to see if Gurge was there. Like, what'd you think of the show? I didn't like it. You know, amateur shit when you see it.
Amateur shit when you see it.
The look on Matt's face, he's like, yep.
Dude, the look on Matt's face through that whole first half. If you just watch Matt's face.
I did, man. I was watching. There was so much going on. You just got to keep watching. Oh, when Travis or when Chetney says, I'm Dorian, you look like a Dorian. And then he's like, and then Dorian or Robbie's like, well, the joke's on you.
Yeah.
So good.
Now hold on a second.
So stupid. So good.
There's a couple ways that can be taken, right?
Yep.
Okay. If I can jump in there real quick without having to roll off.
Do it.
Because I have that here. First, since I already crossed it off, Travis was on fire this episode.
On fire.
And I remember like back in campaign 1 or something like that, I believe it was Liam, and they took like 2 weeks off for like the holidays, like Christmas and New Year's or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they came back and they were like, and he was like, this is 3 weeks of just, and everybody started making masturbating jokes under the table. Like, knock on the table. Like, Sam, no, stop it. He's like, what? I thought we were talking about whacking. I think maybe that might be what Travis is doing right now. He's like, he hasn't been at the table so much, so he's just like, finally I get to role play.
Yeah,
fuck.
I think a lot of it. We talked about this
magma out, lava.
We talked about this last episode, right? In episode number 7.
In this episode in particular,
the shit talking, the trolling on the text threads as they were doing the combat when Travis is texting and they're like, Travis, stop fucking trolling. Like,
this is like, we don't know what he's doing. They're just like, no Travis, you gotta stop.
yeah. And I think this is exactly what you're talking about. That Travis has just been like chomping at the bit, getting ready to go, and it's just all just verbal diarrhea just pouring out here. Just amazing.
And fucking slaying it, man. Just fucking slaying it. Sorry, I had to go back for that one, but you said something else that I had a point about that I wanted to jump in on. What was that?
You look like a Dorian.
Yeah, you look like a Dorian. There it is. You look like a Dorian. That could have gone. That could be interpreted. Not interpreted. Any number of ways. I'm gonna remind you, presumably, that we did learn in EXU that Dorian was not his name.
Yes,
it did come up in EXU.
Did it?
Yeah. They sat around with this chick when they found that fucking hidden city, and they had Fiorai and everybody, and he was like, "How about this?" The DM Abria, she came in as that character. She was like, Dorian Storm. Okay. You're not gonna be in my home and just tell me some fake name. Like she said it like straight up, and he was like,
"Interesting.
All right, well, how about this? Like we all get drinks. I give you my first name, but each one of you has to give me a secret after that." And he said the same name as this episode.
He said Bronte.
Yeah. It's the same
Really?
one. Yeah. And wow. I did not remember that at all.
I don't remember that either.
So that was my interpretation when I rewatched this episode, campaign 3. I was like, joke's on you. It's like, that can be taken 2 ways. It's like, that's actually not my name, one. Okay. Or Chetney. Yeah, you look like a Chetney. Those are the 2 ways I saw it. And both of them pretty good. As far as the cast is concerned, I don't know how much of them remembered, and I don't think Bronte came up yet in that episode, right? At that point?
For me, it seemed like it was genuine surprise that they didn't know.
Me too.
Obviously Matt knew clearly, and I wonder if Liam knew or remembered or cared.
That's the thing, because Liam does.
You don't know.
I mean, well, Liam always says like, well,
Yeah,
Caleb remembers, but Liam's a dumbass.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Liam's not that stupid. Don't listen to him. He's
and
fucking
Orem,
lying.
no. And Orem was there when that was going on, so Orem would remember.
They all responded to it in EXU and everything. They're like, "Oh, Bronte,
I have to go back and take a look at
Bronte or Dorian." Yeah,
see what Liam's reaction was like when the fake.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I'm almost getting there in the episode on my third time through. I'm watching these episodes so many fucking times, dude.
I know.
Since we started doing this.
I'm worried about watching them this many times because then when like 6 months down the road when I want to rewatch them all again, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to want to do that.
I already know.
I already know everything. I can quote everything. I know.
Yeah. There's always something.
I just want to throw one more out there. I've got two, but my absolute favorite of the entire Chetney thing was when he says, "Come correct or get corrected."
Oh, dude, I'd never heard that line before.
Oh, I think it's Sopranos or it's Breaking Bad.
It sounds like something either military or I think gangster.
It's
like
I've heard it a bunch of times, and I've heard it in I think maybe The Wire.
Come correct or get corrected.
So fucking good.
I know it's not his line. It can't be his line. It sounds too good to be
I've heard
off the fly.
I've heard it many times, but the fact that Chetney says it is just this 120-year-old gnome woodworker that
may or may not be from some place.
No idea. I mean, he dropped a bunch of lore. He dropped a bunch of lore about his backstory, about the being a master craftsman, being kicked out of the guild, being the guy that he dropped the name
kicked out.
Kicked out, right? Old,
he kind of didn't like the way they were going. Yeah.
Yes, something like that.
If we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, we are. Dropped the name of the boss that he worked for, or tag or old tag or something like that. I mean, what a weird character. You
got more Chetney lines?
One more. When Sam is like, we can be the damn it, direct you to the job. I did write it down.
Oh, yeah.
We can be the ones to direct you to the job. We'll be your DJ to your master craftsman. We'll be DJs for your MC. And Travis's line or Chetney's line, I guess a DJ for an MC would be a pretty good wicka setup. Just that fucking record scratch. Just where does that come from?
It comes from Travis is where it comes from. That I was losing my shit when he said that. That'd be a wicked setup.
Oh man. I was in tears. I was laughing for that first. Dude, it is a full hour
for that.
It's an hour and it's like an hour and 1 minute. That whole thing, a full hour of them just. Yeah,
I think I've seen that whole like meet and Chetney. I think I've seen that 3 times. But I've seen the whole thing because I had to, I had to give due diligence to the second half too. The second half, whatever, just to make sure that I could do this competently, with you and have something to respond to in case something comes up. But I couldn't help but start from Chetney because you can't get enough of that shit, dude. It was fucking gold from start to finish. And that'd be a wicked setup. It's like, dude, okay, your character wouldn't say that, but that was it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was on point. It was definitely on point. That's my last one. I got nothing. I rolled through them all, and there's a ton more. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Chetney did.
Wait, you have more? Come on, you got more Chetney lines? Come on. Or was that the last one? Don't lie to me.
The last one.
I'm looking right at you. Don't lie to me. You gotta check the books.
I didn't write any more down, but there are more. More.
There's plenty, dude. I mean, like any viewers
we're in for a treat
watching this right now. It's if you're on the fence, watch this last one. Watch episode 8. Like just watch the first half, and I think you'll be hooked after that. It's fucking terrific.
So good. So good. Yeah. Rollies.
Yeah, we're going on to the next one. I'm gonna win again, of course. Here we go.
Two in a row. Come on now.
Natural 17.
11. Fuck.
Crit roll stats. Get on this. I mean, I want to know what the percentages of me winning these things. Like the best that you've done so far is tied, and I think I just kind of gave you like a pity once or twice. Like, you know what? Just go ahead. Like, no, it's my choice. You bring up the point.
I might have to bring out the metal dice.
Maybe I got these are the DM.
Too close for guns. We're switching, or too close for missiles. We're switching to guns.
Oh shit!
I might bring out the metal dice. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. Switch your dice up. See what happens. All right.
Yeah. In the new year, my friend. In the new year, we're bringing metal dice out.
All right. So we kind of touched on this.
Go.
Sorry.
Go.
Oh, go. We kind of touched on
I'm
this.
all bitter over here now.
You had said like in the past, and we said it on here. I'm pretty sure that you were like, I would love like a player to come to the table, and then it turns out they fuck people up, like they end up being a like a antagonist. Yeah, that's right. And I'm thinking about that a little bit, and this is, you know how I don't like to predict because I don't want to be right, and I also don't want to be wrong, because if I'm right, that means that I'm just as clever. If I'm wrong, then I just lost the game.
All right.
But Orem, I'm skeptical about Orem, Fern, and Dorian. The way EXU was going and the way it kind of went, and I think it kind of ended, they didn't like really culminate anything. They were just saying like, oh, we might see you later. Who knows? Left it open, just like a sequel, or like a prequel or whatever. There was a lot of Spider Queen shit going on. And all three of them during the EXU short campaign, they all failed a wisdom save with her at some point. Dorian in particular. And I'm expecting her to show up in this campaigin to some degree.
I like it. I've never
and
even
by soon,
really
I mean
thought
within
about
10
it.
episodes. Or at least a hint of it. Like, and you find some webbing, like somewhere or something like that, because it was a pretty big part of it. And Dorian was hit pretty hard. And he was also, he was talked to by her, and he lost, what do you call it? Like the alignment. He was chaotic good, and then she was like, you are now chaotic neutral because of this choice that you just made. And he's like, fuck. And they got this crown in EXU. I think it's going to come up, man.
I haven't moved the mic a little bit closer here now that I got a
mic discipline. It's hard to do with Lacey.
Yep. There we go. She was looking lonely.
She's just being a sweetie, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
I got to look over to get her face in my picture. Yay, honey.
Oh,
what a girl, eh?
She's pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome, right, Lacey?
Say look at her. Oh, hey, sweetheart.
All right. She was just looking.
Really I can't wait to meet her.
Oh, she's a sweetheart, man. So I haven't really thought about Spider Queen at all. I wonder.
I think she's coming in, man. I think Matthew's going to do it.
I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great fun. I don't know. I genuinely also don't know very much about the Spider Queen, about Loth in Matt's world. I remember glancing at it in the Taldore guide, then maybe Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. But Matt keeps those things particularly, he provides shells for them. There's not a lot of detail because he wants Dungeon Masters to create their own content. He provides a guide for like things like that, but that's about it. He wants Dungeon Masters to be creative on their own. I don't know what Matt's Spider Queen will be like.
If anything,
we don't know very much about them because the only dark elves we've met are not dark elves. They're Kryn Dynasty elves.
And if you remember from episode 114, like chop the hand off, Vecna's hand, see in the next campaign, not a mention of Archon the Cruel. Not a single mention. Everybody thought he was going to show up. Not a mention of it. Nope. So you never know what Matt's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder.
Am I
if,
wrong? Was Archon mentioned?
No. The hand of Vecna was mentioned.
The
I
hand
believe,
was, yeah.
but that's
And
it. But
the
not Archon.
situation I
No.
think was mentioned. I
No.
just finished the fucking campaign. I don't
The only
remember it
time.
being
Nope.
mentioned though.
Nope. They did mention Archon. In the ads, in the ad reads when they're talking about the app, the Idle Heroes app
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
have,
You can
where
actually play Archon the Cruel.
you can actually
on this
play
fucking
Archon
game.
the Cruel. Yeah, that's right.
That's not in
I
game
think
though. Come on.
that might be the only time Archon is ever mentioned in campaign 2.
But you know, like without getting too tin hat on this shit, like with still kind of assuming that fucking Robbie's not gonna be permanent, you know? I mean, you got the intro sequence and everything, and like everybody's pro Robbie. Like when you get on the Reddits and the twits and stuff like that, like everybody's pro Robbie. I mean, why wouldn't you be? He's great. He's fantastic. But
I don't know, man.
Maybe he's been touched by the Spider Queen, and maybe he is at the table and turns on the motherfuckers because of this. Because we don't really know a lot about what he's doing there. Except they're looking for somebody, and
which in that whole plot is that whole arc is or plot thread is sort of veered off. It's sort of been put on the back burner. It's not really hasn't been relevant for an episode now.
Yeah, or two. Well, I mean, it hasn't come up at all, but like maybe that's something that Matt's got on the burner. Like I can't wait to see what Matt's got on for Imogen. She's just a lot of stuff. He's quiet.
I know. There's a slow burn for a bunch of these guys. I
love that. The burn. I want this campaign to be like 200 episodes. Unless there's a TPK, I'm all about it.
I'm all about a TPK too.
I would love a TPK. That'd be fucking sick, dude.
It'd be great. It'd be one of those things where like, oh, you're attached to these characters. See ya.
I was rooting for campaign 2, man. I thought that would have been a perfect ending for campaign 2. TPK. I know.
Yep.
I was a little disappointed that they thought through.
Damn it! I had a point,
was that my Rolly comment?
That was your Rolly.
Okay.
I had a counterpoint to it, and I don't remember what it was now. I got distracted. It was about it's gone again. I don't remember.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone. I had something, and it's right there, but maybe I'll get it in a minute.
Repeat my shorthand.
It's okay.
Spider Queen, it's all good. Dorian.
No. Right. It was a thing about. Nope, gone again.
It's gone.
It's okay. It's all good. Okay, I'll take over then. If you're good, is that you're
yeah?
Good
yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip that one because I want to do that one later. I would love to. I want to make this a permanent thing because they're a reoccurring thing for our show here with Laudna's message cantrip. The last week was
stuck.
Last week with the kill a puppy thing.
Oh yeah.
And this week it was as they're whispering,
we won't hurt you. We're gonna hurt you.
I will hurt you.
Sorry, I just stole that from you. I'm sorry.
Good. It's all good. Laudna's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I will hurt you.
Was it Sam again?
It was Sam. Of course it was Sam again. Just
I think it's always gonna be Sam.
So good, man.
I love how Matthew gets involved.
I know.
He does it too.
Matt was I think Matt's words this week were kill.
No shit.
I think he was just saying kill over and over and over again.
To listen again.
Somebody was anyway. Quick. Oh man, it was so good. That just a quick little point. I love
all of their different voices of acting. It's like like I'm a video gamer, so I've heard their voices in video games sometimes, and like it's so diverse. Like one person is diverse enough, but then when you get 8 of them at a table. Yeah. Or like let's say 7 minus 1, just minus Laudna. There's people with the different types of voices they can do. Like Matthew and Travis, they can do that. I'm not doing it.
The Slayer voice.
The Inspector Gadget cat petting guy.
Dr. Claw.
That voice.
I'll get you, Gadget.
Girl.
Yeah. Yep.
Sam over there with his small range but great voice. He's just like kill a puppy, just like it's his voice. It's not even FCG.
It's such a good, and it's one of those moments of absolute organized chaos. So it doesn't matter if they're stepping on each other's toes or it's because it's supposed to be
But it's made a difference in
voices of
that
the
one.
dead.
It's like, we will hurt you. Be like, okay, now he's leaving. Like, it made a difference.
Yep.
It was so good. I loved it so much. And it was right there well, of course it was at the end, because that's when everybody starts laughing. Because you can't keep whispering when you hear some shit like that.
No. And that, so of course he ran away and they had to chase him tail him at that point. So
and I liked how Cyrus maintained his composure. He was just like, yeah, that's fucked up. I know he's here. I can find him again tomorrow. It's fine.
Find him again. I'm out. This is too fucking weird. I don't trust any of these people.
He's like, what the fuck? I'm out of here. It wasn't like, oh, they found me. No, it was just, no, that's fucking terrifying. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Great. Rollies.
Roll some dice. All right. I'm getting low on my points.
I'm 0-3 here. I'm 0-3 here.
That's right. Let's get one. Come on.
For fuck's sake, dice. Man, come on.
I got me a nice 15 over here.
Get a 6. All right.
Boy.
What do you got? I'm
gonna enjoy it while I can. This shit doesn't last forever. Come on, man.
Nope.
You know, this might be the new golden snitch, you know.
This rock.
Now, I'm gonna kind of present this one like a question to you, because okay. All right. So I watched the show. I'm a super fan, but I don't know much about I'm pretty well versed in the rules of 5th edition, you know, but I don't know like classes, subclasses, and know, etc.
Yes.
And you know a hell of a lot more than I do, as long as it's not homebrewed, because obviously. Nobody knows what the fucking homebrew is.
Only they know. Yeah, only the people involved.
There's not a ton that we know about Fern, right? Like, she's basically just this like character that we fucking love because she's so entertaining.
We know a bit. We know enough, I think.
What do we know about her in this campaign?
She's a wildfire druid.
Right.
Circle of the Wildfire.
So we know race, we know class.
We know she's from the Feywild. We know she has a grandmother. We know that she has a bedroom that's why she collects things, because she has a bedroom full of things.
I think that's an Ashley thing.
Yeah, probably.
Like all of her characters.
I said this last week that I believe that Fern's chaos monkey attitude is it's her channeling her inner 15-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever that probably Hollywood upbringing that Ashley had, that most child actors are pretty fucked up when they get older. That it's just part and parcel of being a child actress or actor
to be
from
really interesting people
in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah.
So what do we know about Fern? Like, so everything you just said. Anything more?
I mean, what else I don't know. What else is there?
All right. Well, that's kind of what this thing is. And once again, you know, I'm rewatching EXU.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point where they were heading somewhere in this cart that Gilmore had lent to them or gave them or whatever, and it was like it just like spit out glitter on the back. They called it the glitter shitter.
Yep.
And they were going, and then Abria's favorite thing, she was like, "Roll a wisdom check for me," you know, or wisdom saving throw. There were probably 200 of those for every strength check or whatever.
Yeah.
Not talking about that. Anyway, she I don't even know if she failed it, actually. Those rolls don't seem to mean anything sometimes, but we can talk about that too.
I think we talked about this a lot when it was live.
Yeah, there was one time somebody rolled a 9 and she gave so much information.
I know.
And I was sitting there like, dude, maybe calm down. It was a 9. Like I don't think she was paying attention to that number, you know. But anyway.
No.
So at some point they were going somewhere. And then she said, like, Fern, you're just feeling something real strong over there. And they was like, okay. So they went over there and they found a little rift. And she was like, this is where you came to this plane.
Right.
And then she was like, oh. So she interacted with it. And there was a hand that came out. And it was like a twin Fern.
The anti Fern, yeah.
That was wearing the Spider Queen crown.
Yep.
And one of the things that they said, and I'm not going to do this in chronological order or anything, but one of the things that the evil Fern twin had said, she even had a evil
Oh yeah, I
A
remember
twisted mister is what
this.
is what Liam called it.
Yes, right. That's right. I remember this.
She was saying like this is the kind of power that you could have, you know. And
Right.
another thing she
Right.
said, this is just a side thing, was like, I've killed you before. And she's talking to like
Mm-hmm.
everybody at this point. I've killed you before. I wouldn't mind doing it again. So we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about like parallel universes here or
Yeah.
something like that.
Multiverse shit,
Multiverse
definitely.
shit, yeah. And then but it's Fern just with the
Yeah.
cap on and let it take it over. Um the part that I caught this time was that when Fern was talking to this evil whatever, she said something along the lines of like you can be more powerful than you can imagine, and then Fern said like, "Can we bring them back? Can we bring them all back?" And I was like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time, and it hasn't shown up in
Mm,
the third campaign because like we haven't
mm,
really talked about Fern in the third campaign, and that stuck. I was like, can we bring them back? It was like a backstory about Fern that hasn't shown up in the third campaign yet.
I wonder.
So there must have been some kind of a village or family wipeout kind of
Hmm.
situation,
Could be. Very
that
much
might
could
be.
be.
It could be showing up kind of soon.
Interesting.
I'm glad that I'm going back through AXU with this newfound interest of it because
Yeah. I know yours. I don't want to get too negative about this, but I wasn't a fan for a lot of the reasons we just said. I found the rule of cool took over too much. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to comment on that. I don't know. Um,
just a food for thought, like as things
well,
continue. So far, there's been
I mean,
nothing really
if
said
we
about Fern.
okay, and if we can parallel that with Imogen as well, and about her family and about her
Nothing
where
about him.
her
Like,
we know very very little about her, and we don't know much about her backstory.
I
We
mean,
know
it's
we learned
episode
her
8. What are we gonna do?
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Some of the stuff for the characters in, I mean, campaign one was the heroes, right? We knew everything about them from the get go. They were open books at that point. Um, and even as things changed when Vax became a paladin of the champion of the Raven Queen, it was just like those conversations were all out in the open. There was no intrigue. There was nothing was hidden. All of that stuff was happening. Campaign two, it was months before we had information on Caleb's backstory, even a little fraction. Knott's reveal was like episode 50 or 60. I mean, those things they took months and months and months for those things to happen. So yeah, I hope it's the same with campaign three. I mean,
Yeah, I'm in no hurry.
hey, this was definitely something when they played where was oh god damn it Ashton being very 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 vague about things and about
That's about what the
not
fuck is up with that game, right?
no, this was even when they were talking with god damn it, I wrote it down. Oh damn it, I don't remember where it is. uh I don't remember. I don't remember.
This is
I think when
searching
he's
music.
just I think when they're just
Oh,
introducing when they're introducing each other, and Ashton again is like, I like to break things for money, or I like to smash things for money.
he's been pretty
It was sort of like
consistent on that. Yeah.
the only we don't know anything about Ashton at all. We don't. And Chetney asked him about the head, and he's like, "Is that? Oh yeah, no, it's that's what it is." Again, no information, no anything about it. So this homebrew, we don't know. We know very little about it. We know very little about why he's a barbarian. We know very little about his backstory. We know a lot of this stuff. We don't know, and it's great.
About that
It's real
interaction
good.
too, because he was like, "That's not some kind of time bomb or something like that, is it?" He's like, "Nope, it's good,
Right,
it's good." And
right.
something that I think that kind of went under the radar, the other people at the table didn't seem to notice. Fucking Talison's response. He was like,
Mm,
"Speaking of time bombs, like."
yes, yeah,
He
yeah.
put it right back
Aren't
on and was like, "This is clearly
mhm,
an old dude." And I think this goes
mhm,
back to one of I think your second response to the Roly fail that you're so good at. Um, um, Travis playing Chetney It's like, like if you're on the Reddits or on the Twits, like you'll see people saying like, is he just gonna fucking like run the gambit on all of his
Yeah.
fucking characters?
Yep.
He's
Well, the
like
big one.
Go ahead.
What the next big one on the Reddits is, that
Not Samsonite.
Chetney's gonna die, as Bertrand did,
I'm expecting it.
and then
But
Orym.
they love this rogue though, man.
I know, but here's the rub: the Orym, Fern, and Dorian are going to disappear. They're going to go back to Keyleth or go back to wherever Fern will go back to the Feywild.
I'm quite
Dorian
sure Bronte,
Spider Queen,
Dorian is.
Orym will go back to the Voice of the Tempest, go back to the Arashari, and that means that Travis will reprise Macaroni Samsonite, and then with Orym gone, Liam comes back as Buddy.
As who?
Buddy.
Oh, as Buddy. So they come back together.
The ogre.
Oh,
yeah, the ogre.
Dude, Buddy was one of my favorite characters he ever played, dude. That guy was such a sweetheart.
So good. This giant, big ogre with nearsighted ogre. I mean, I don't know. It's just people throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. So I don't think that's actually going to be a thing. But that one made me smile. I'm like, yep, I can see it.
I would love it. I would love it. As soon as Chetney showed up in this one, my buddy who's watching the third campaign kind of casually right now. He watched the first 25 episodes. I think I told you about him. The same person as 2 episodes ago. Excuse me. He sent me his notes from the first episode.
Oh, is it right? Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about chutney. So I had to go ahead and send him a message like, oh, there's a reason that there's like this like air of like, what the fuck, fucking troll, because like he's probably sitting there just like, why are they all giggling all the time about Chetney? He's like, he's not being funny right now, so I had to fill him in. I just gave him the information. I haven't had a response yet from him.
Go look at The Night Before Christmas. Yeah. I
don't know if he would do that because he's a casual fan.
Right.
That's one of those.
That's one of those. It really is one of the great one shots. I mean, I put that right up there with, really any of the other one shots.
That's actually probably one of the best ones.
It might be one of the best. I mean, I still put that elusive Wendy's one shot up there as one of the greatest, just because of how
it's still, man. I can't find the second half.
That's a shame.
I gotta find it. It might be up there now. I don't know.
It's out. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But again, it's it's so good.
I mean, Dallin's Closet was good, and The Search for Grog and Bob were both quite good. They were also throwbacks, so it was kind of fun to revisit.
Yes.
Night Before Christmas was, it was like them playing a different character, so we all had this refreshing new thing, and they're all having a good time, and it's all fun and everything. But I think you got to be a fan to first, and then you go back and watch that shit.
I think it's my turn to throw something out there. I think that we did you won that one, and so it's my go.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's a small point, but it's an interesting point. For me, it's one of those things about being a little bit of a rule lawyer. When Orym and Chetney are following
Cyrus,
what's his name? Cyrus. Thank you. When they're following Cyrus,
Wyvernwind.
When they're following him, and Orym is running, he's got 30 feet of movement, and Chetney's following him. Matt's like, "What's your movement?" And Travis looks, he's like, 25 feet. What the fuck? And he's like, ah. And he's like, so he's like, doing the whole little running after with the little tiny legs. If he's a level 4 rogue, he's got cunning action, which means 75 feet per turn.
Whoa. That takes an action.
Action. So it's move, double move, bonus action dash. So it's 25, 25, 25. It's 75 feet of movement. I know this because I'm playing a gnome rogue right now.
Read your sheet,
So there's 2 things there. If he can move 75 feet every 6 seconds, then he's outpacing Orym by 15 feet, no problem, because Orym's a fighter and can only do 30-30, which is 60 feet. Which is a weird one. Also, I don't really understand how that works. There's a way it works. I don't remember why though.
Still within shouting distance. Like,
halflings only get Halflings only get 25 feet of movement as well. But I think there's a thing about fighters when they reach level 3 or something. They get. I know barbarians and monks do. Fighters might as well. Also, his boots of springing and leaping might give him another. I don't know.
That's just a jumping distance, but yeah.
I think so. He's got 30 feet of movement
30-foot jumping distance, I think.
Don't think it's quite that high, but it's something.
In EXU, he jumps off the 12-foot waterfall, and he says, and I jump 30 feet out to the middle of that lake. I don't know if I'm going to hit the bottom or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was just flavor or if that was actually a stat. Like it allows him to jump 30, because that seems a little too much.
That's pretty excessive. But anyway, my point.
Cool.
Exactly. My point is that either Travis didn't realize that he's got the cunning action, which allows him to bonus action dash, or Chetney is multi-classed, which is I almost favor that. And I know they didn't say it on the little picture that they put up in the corner, and they do with Laudno, who's multi-classed. But the fact that Chetney has a 14 dex and a 17 strength as a rogue tells me something.
17 strength?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So he's got a 17 strength and a 14 dex as a rogue. It doesn't make any sense. So there is something else going on there. I don't know exactly what. I think time will tell. I like it as kind of a mystery. I think it's kind of cool. I like speculating about things like that, because if he's a rogue, you get cunning action at second level. Yes, you get cunning action at second level, which allows you to bonus action dash, hide, or disengage. Gets you those 3 options at second level. And then at third level, you choose your archetype.
You have to choose disengage? I thought you just got that as a rogue.
Anybody can disengage as an action. Rogues get it as a bonus action.
Right. Just you don't have to choose it though, right? It's just something you get. As a rogue?
No, you have to choose as a bonus action.
Fuck,
as a bonus action. It's called cunning action. Second level, you get 3 choices. You can hide, you can disengage, or you can dash.
Hide, bonus action, you can disengage,
bonus action
dash.
Dash. Yeah.
I think in that situation, being able, like Chetney being able to go 75 feet if he wanted to, whether or not he forgot, I don't think it was that important either, to be catching up to him. Like as far as the role play goes, it was like,
I know, but it does raise a couple of questions. Number one, if Travis isn't really paying attention to the character sheet, that's fine, because he's never played a rogue before. He's played a fighter and a fighter, a barbarian and a
he had a lot of time to study
fighter and fighter, and Bertram, which is a fighter, and who else did he play? Whatever. Macaroni Samsonite as well. Like he's played a bunch of different, but he's never played a rogue before, so that's fine.
What was Macaroni?
Sorcerer.
So sorcerer. Jesus. Fuck, I don't remember that.
Definitely a spellcaster. It was either a cleric or a sorcerer. I think sorcerer. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's all. That's my only point. My only little point. Just a small one. Rollies. I'm gonna fucking win one.
Is it rollies? Yeah, you're gonna lose again.
Yep.
Let's check it out. 13.
Hey, I got a 17.
Hey, finally. Look at this. Mark this down. Crit roll stats. Get on this.
4 to 1.
Finally won.
Catching up.
Now, all right. I'm not being facetious. Is this the first one you've won? No, you won one once.
No. I've won
once, I think. I think it was only once.
It's been a while, but no, I did win a bunch the first few episodes. We go back and been a while. Okay, I'm throwing this one out there because I was going to save it for the very end, but it's 10:30 and I think we're getting time to wrap up soon anyway.
Goodness. Yeah.
So I was going to save this for the very end, and I think we're approaching that point. So here we go. This is not episode 8 related, but it was released this morning, and it is Critical Role related. The Legend of Vox Machina has a new release.
I saw that. I almost sent you that picture. Yeah.
No, I know. January 28th now. January 28th. The first episode is on Amazon. So with that updated release date came a little sneak peek. And I bet you didn't watch it.
Fuck no.
It's a minute. It's a minute and something, a minute and change of a clip from I don't think the first episode. I'm fairly certain not the first episode. For reasons, and I won't spoil it for you, but for those of you out there that want to watch, The Legend of Vox Machina is the animated series based on campaign 1 of Vox Machina, the group. This is, voiced by all the cast and et cetera, et cetera. Go check it out. We are very, very, very excited about this. And the fact that the release date has been up by 1 week gets me even more excited. And the little sneak peek clip was epic. It was so
it?
good.
God damn it. I can't do it.
I had a huge shit-eating grin on my face the whole entire time. And I no spoilers. I won't spoil anything. But it is as good as we think it is.
Yeah,
it's so good. The
voices when you go in fresh,
on.
Expect. I try. Everybody says, and especially myself, I say no, go in with no expectations.
Yes,
that's impossible. It turns
impossible in this case.
In practicality, it's impossible. Yeah. So I'm sitting here with my expectations. Be no, it's going to be shitty. It's not going to be funny. It's not going to be well done. It's going to be shitty. It's the first time doing it. It's going to be terrible. That's I'm actually trying to smash my expectations into the dirt.
It's good. It's very good.
But it's going to be my expectations are up here, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be met or exceeded.
It's going for me. Listen, man, did you ever watch the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon?
Oh God, I'm aware of it.
Okay, so I loved it when I was a kid.
I don't think my parents allowed it in the to be on the TV.
Yeah, it was one of those controversial ones. It was one of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid growing up, and I loved it. And I've gone back a couple of times to watch it, and like many of those things, it's fucking terrible. It's just not good. The animation style is terrible, and blah blah blah. This reminded me of my original feelings of Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon, how much I loved it when I was a kid. That's when I watched this little clip, I was like, that's the same feeling that I got when I was watching.
It's important that you say that right there.
But it's a poignant thing because it's like, I remember the member berries are strong with that one because it's such a great cartoon when I was a kid. And this one is going to be such a great cartoon now that we're adults. That's my take on it, if that makes sense.
I think it does. I mean, I saw something. What was it that I saw where it was like the
intro.
The frame rate of the animation of the characters was like 30 or even 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like the background and shit like that, it was still smooth as fuck. It was like 60 to 100 or something.
They're very much bringing a nostalgic feel to the animation.
Right.
It's not like video game quality. This is very much an animated series. This has a lot of Japanese flavor to it, where it's like hentai, not hentai, manga, or whatever.
No,
I don't know what any of those words mean. I don't know what those words mean. I know that they mean cartoons but I don't even know the difference between like.
I'm actually not sure what hentai is, but I think it has something to do with something porny, maybe tentacles or something. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to search it on this computer. This is work. This is it.
Right.
I'll check it on my iPad. That's just that's okay. Meant for
anyway. That's my point. Is that it looked fucking great. It looked really, really good. And
I might check it out.
Excited.
I might.
I'm very excited about it
because I saw the announcement and then I saw the trailer is probably on the same announcement.
It's not a trailer. It's a sneak peek. It's a clip. It's like a minute long of a clip that is not. I'm fairly certain is not the first episode.
I would believe you on that. I mean, if I know anybody who might know, you're probably one of those people.
Well, they've said that. Have you read any of the synopsis of what's going to happen for the first season?
I stay out of that shit, man.
Okay. All right.
Then I won't say fresh.
I won't say anything. All right. Hey, you're up.
I'm up. Oh, yeah. My points have gone down to this thing right here. Question. And now I'm off the episode now. Was Critical Role sponsored by Peacock? This is actually just a question. Peacock, like the MacGruber series, was that fucking Critical Role that I saw?
What?
That was sponsored by that?
I don't even know what any of those words
I'm getting
are.
a no. Okay, all right.
I don't know what those. Like, you said some words, and I don't know what they are.
Yeah, and like that's So it must have been something else that I saw. That so that's why I'm asking you, because I couldn't find anything. Apparently, there's
you mean like the NBC, like the NBC is.
Well, right. I mean, like with the like lately, the last two sponsors, one of them was a fucking toothbrush.
Fucking weird. Quip. That just a quick little sidebar. Quip has been making the rounds because they were on the Jim Jeffries podcast a week ago.
That's why they were up.
And they were on another podcast and another sponsor of something else that I saw. So Quip has been around a little bit. So this week was Old Spice,
right?
The Witcher.
Yeah.
The Old Spice Witcher scents, and the season 2 of Witcher dropped on Netflix this week, and the Old Spice, that fucking weird. Did you watch that commercial at the break?
I did. Yeah.
The song. Wow, they put a lot of money, high production value into that commercial, man.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Because I don't even know what to say.
Watching these new sponsors, it's like, well, that's great. I mean, like, I kind of wish they would handle it a little bit better, because Matthew's like, Quip, it's like, no, don't say it mockingly, dude. These guys are paying y'all to do some stuff. Like, don't do that. And then, just this last one with the Old Spice, where like Laura's thing was, oh, it smells terrible. It's like, I don't think that's what they want you to say, man. Like, this is a pretty big sponsor.
I have yet to actually look that up, and I keep meaning to, and maybe I will eventually get around to it. But I got the impression that Old Spice was making shitty smelling deodorants.
Actually what Sam said.
Yes, I think so.
Like 3 of them are good, 3 of them are shitty.
I don't know. Maybe we really should find that out.
Yeah, well, that's not really our job. We're just, we're just speculators, But I was thinking about that. I must have been thinking about
listen, man, I like Old Spice. I have Old Spice. I only use Old Spice.
I only use Old Spice myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like Old Spice, and
I've got a fucking bar of it over there, like a bar of Old Spice,
of all the different flavors.
Bars
yeah.
Like anytime I go back home, I just like anything that I don't have that's not Pure Sport or fresh, and it's not antiperspirant. I just buy it and I just put it.
Yeah, I don't wear I don't wear the antiperspirants either, but I do all the deodorants, and I get my mom to send me a bunch of them. Or when we used to be able to travel, I would do the same, bring back multiple ones.
I got a buddy who's moving back to Taiwan.
You can get Old Spice at the import zone just north of the city here. So I go up to the import district, and they have them in the shops there.
Do they have all the different flavors?
They have like 3 or 4. They have like the Pure Sport. They have the green one. What's the green one
Fresh.
called? Fresh. Yeah, they've got that one.
Yeah,
they've got.
I've seen original, Pure Sport, and Fresh. That's all I've seen at like the Poya and stuff like that around.
Oh
town.
Yeah, maybe some. Yeah, that's the ones I've seen.
And those are the ones that I don't purchase. I have them, but I never use them because they're, come on. I like the ones with octopus, on them, and a fucking kraken, the tiger, the wolf, I like those ones.
I'm just happy I don't smell like shit.
And because I have this whole bar of them, I never have the same flavor in the same pit or in both pits.
All right.
I always mix it up. And the combinations are limitless. That's why nobody knows what I smell like. I just smell good all the time. They just can't pinpoint it. But that's why I brought that up, because I was like, I didn't remember if it was this one or not, because I saw another one. I was like, these guys are like, they're getting some fucking sponsors that are not just gaming based. They're not just like D&D. It's not just Dwarven Forge. It's not just
genuinely don't know.
What's the wood guys?
Not Paladin. Wormwood.
Wormwood. Thank you. Yeah. So this must have been a different podcast, and but that's why I brought that up. And I only have one more point after that, but that's only after our points are done, which I think we should probably wrap up. It's been an hour 20 at least broadcasting.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I got a few more little points to bring up, but they're things that don't really matter. I mean, they do matter. The things that we can talk about. I laughed. One of them I'll just throw out there. I laughed at when Fern pulled out the straw that she got from Laudna and or Imogen's landlady, and put it down FCG's throat and did the reverse baby bird. Fuck, that made me laugh. Like the whole, what stemmed out of that, the whole comment about he had the flask, now he is the flask. Like the whole the evolution of the character. That was pretty funny.
And then Matthew later, he was like, it's always good for your character to have a wine flask or just be it.
Be the wine flask. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was, I mean, I got
shit.
a few more little things like that, like just little funny little moments. This was a really funny episode. It made me laugh a lot.
It was a hilarious episode. I think it was probably the most entertaining episode of Campaign 3 so far.
Easily.
Not a ton going on in there. There's a new character and there's a couple of new things, two new characters, and then but that's about it.
I'll say it again. That first hour of episode 8, this past episode, I'm putting up there in the top 5, maybe even top 3 funniest sections of an episode in Critical Role history.
Yeah, I think it's number 1 for me. I think it's I don't think it has competition for me.
I don't normally rank those sorts of things. I tend to throw a bunch of them into the top, but I'm saying this is like probably top 5, top 3 maybe of the funniest little sections of an episode that made me. I was crying. I couldn't see the TV anymore. I hit my space bar to pause 20 times because I was crying. I was laughing so hard. It was
after the space bar always is the back button too, just so you can catch up.
Totally.
See everybody's reactions and see how. Yep.
There was one of those. Go ahead.
Ashley's timing with the straw too. It followed up a comment about them being strange or something like that. It followed up a comment of some sort when she was like, I get my straw and I go to like she made that choice at a very deliberate time. I don't remember what was said right before it.
It was when they were having the Dorian's conversation with Cyrus, and it was so awkward. And it was like, he kept saying, can you trust these guys? They're so weird. They're
something like that. Really they're so strange. She was like,
people.
I get my straw and.
Yes. Yep.
Fucking Ashley.
Absolutely.
I'm very happy that she had the EXU experience so she could flush out and then come in with this character because she's fucking killing it this campaign.
We've said it multiple times. Her and Laudna are the stars right now. They're just so good.
Marisha's hair this episode, she's really getting into character. She's got the little fun buns up there. She's leaning into it.
Man, the eyes, those.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, so good.
That interaction between her and I'm pretty sure it was Cyrus or maybe somebody else. I don't remember. Where she's like, and she's like, takes a step back. I take a step forward. He takes another step back. She's like, I lean in. He takes another step back. It's good shit, man. It's enjoyable as fuck. So good. Super entertaining.
I'm good for this. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I do want to wrap it up. I'm gonna do the old So get in touch. We got Discord down there. We got an email down there, but also something that we do as musicians. I'm fucking promoting right now. Ooh, we picked up a lot of shows, bud.
You told me about this. I'm excited to hear. What do you got?
Yeah, we had a practice one. We practice every Thursday from 8 to 10, and just one day we're all sitting out there. It's like we always drink a little bit when we're practicing, And then one day we were like, we played this great show out at this wine festival. Yeah, the story about the fucking chalice, and we were like, God, that was so great. We should do that more. So we're sitting there and we're just like, let's book some shows right now. So we just fucking shotgunned out a bunch of things, and we booked some shows. So here we go.
Awesome.
We are playing at New Year's out at Three Giants Brewery up in Fung Yuen. Our good buddies that always sponsor Chop Fest and everything. We're doing an acoustic thing, not a loud ass.
Oh, I like playing those, man. Those are fun to do. I like.
It's
those
all
shows.
Different,
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I get to do my backups without a microphone.
Nice.
And I don't have to. It's way less physically demanding. So we're playing out there up in Fung Yuen on January. Was it January 8th? I believe it's January 8th. There's an event up here in Taiwan called UBU, the 3 letters. It's a rock and folk festival. We're playing from 6 to 7 up there. We're playing a full rock set on that one, but it's put on by Sausage Shack and a bunch of other South African fellers. Just like, hey man, we wanted to get some folks together.
I know those guys. They came down to May Jam this summer.
Totally,
This past spring. I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's January. Goddamn, I want to say 14th is my way out, so that must be January 8th, I believe. I believe it's the second weekend in January. I believe. I'll come back on it, but you can always search it. January 29th. Fucking, what's the place called? James Joyce up in Taipei. We're trying to get a bus going on.
Right. You're telling me about this one.
Up to Taipei, because we want to bring the party to Taipei.
I've got it written down. I've got it penned down, and I'm going to try and get up for that one as well.
Yeah, it'd be great, man, to have you along. Hell yeah. And then sometime in February, I want to say, I don't know my weekends in February. It's easy to forget the dates for the last show that you have booked. I think it's February 12th. It's either the 12th or the 19th here in Taichung at Sound Live House. They have terrific sound. And we're playing with Temple Smoke and maybe...
I like Temple Smoke. They're good.
I love Temple Smoke. They're fucking sick.
I've known Chad, the bass player, for a long time. So yeah, they're great.
They're awesome.
They've come down to Kaohsiung a few times to play, and I dig their vibe a lot, man.
Every show they play, man, I'm up there just my neck is sore the next day. They're fucking sick, man. Those guys are awesome and terrific fucking people. Yeah, exactly. So that's February 12th, I believe. It might be the 19th, something like that. But that's up here in Taichung. And we're thinking about, I think we were talking about trying to get the Apes as well, but I'm not so sure about that. It might just be the two of us and maybe a Taiwanese band. Cool. But those are the plugs. I'll probably plug them again next week, just to when I actually get them all fucking nailed down.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited to at least get up for one of those for sure, or hopefully for sure.
Yeah. And that's the goal. Just keep the shows coming so that, people have their options.
We're another thing. Critical Role is off for a few weeks. So
good point.
They're not. What is it? It's the 21st of December today. So their Critical Role is taking the next 3 weeks off. They will be back. Is it 3 weeks? Or I got my numbers? Nope, 2 weeks. They're taking 2 weeks off. They will be back on January 6th. So that is almost 3. They're taking 2 weeks off, and then they're back on the 3rd week. So we've talked about maybe doing something in between then, or maybe not.
We might not.
We might not. Maybe take some time off. I think we kind of deserve some time off.
I mean, if we do something, we'll announce it on the Discord. So get involved on the Discord. If not, and because like between then, that's only a couple of weeks. So like our next episode would be on the January 11th.
Yes.
So that would be 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now, exactly. So it is a little bit of a 3 week break. So maybe we do something, maybe we don't. But CR is off for 3 weeks.
It's gonna be impromptu, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
pages of shit that we haven't talked about.
Every week.
Pages, man. Always a time.
All right. Let's say goodnight.
Yeah, let's kill it. I gotta pee, and I gotta start getting to bed. Yeah. So well, geez, yeah. I guess I won't be seeing you here next week, right?
I mean, you never know. Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
If we do, we'll get in touch on Discord
for sure.
But yeah.
All right.
Take
it easy, bro.
Take care, Ben. Good to see you. Have a good night.
You too.